Hi, this is Sanjay Parihar. I'm from Houston, Texas. As promised, and I'm a technologist. As promised, we're going to bring some notable faces in our show. So here we are with Mr. Vijay Sharthi. Welcome to our show, sir. How are you?
Hi Sanjay, very good evening to you. And Rohit, very good evening to you too.
Hello,
And
Mr. Sarthi.
this is Vijay Sathi from Benchmark Hotels. Uh,
Mr. Sharthi
nice to
was always been near and dear to us always. So it's definitely a great pleasure to have a discussion over this show, Mr. Sharthi. So let me start some of the questions which we already always have. I know we already have a long term relationship with you, and then right now so we learned about you quite a bit. Mr. Vijay Sharthi, uh, you are the pioneer to open the door for South India hotels in Delhi. How did you think about this experiment as such?
Yeah, Sanjay, it's quite interesting, when we as a layman, when we came down to
Mm-hmm.
Delhi,
Mm-hmm.
see, there is when I picked up a job initially for the last, I was working with one of the organizations
Mm-hmm.
in the sales.
Mm-hmm.
And we had two hotels in Bangalore and Mysore. When we had these two hotels, I was very new to Delhi. My language was, zero with Hindi, and to get accustomed with this North Indian Hindi-speaking people, it was very difficult to know what all about the North Indians. So whenever I went out to meet people in the market, I was always branded as Madrasi has come. So the word Madrasi, I am from Madras, of course, but
Mm-hmm.
they love calling, telling whether it is a reception in the office or whether the sales guys in the office or
Mm-hmm.
the directors of the companies. Oh, they always love calling, hey, Madrasi, Ajab. So the welcome itself was touching.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, okay, this is how we have to get the closeness with the people. So I was accommodated with the word Madrasi. So I
Mm-hmm.
said, fine, I took it in a very spirited way.
Mm-hmm.
And we started having a business.
Mm-hmm.
So while learning a lot, my Hindi accent was not so good.
Mm-hmm.
So, sometimes you hear some words which is not new.
Right.
And in the down the line, when I was talking with friends and when
Mm-hmm.
people like Rohit and many people came across
Mm-hmm.
closer to me, I started learning that, and all my colleagues where I was working with them,
Mm-hmm.
I found that the knowledge lacking towards South India was very
Mm-hmm.
less.
Mm-hmm.
So other than this Bangalore and Mysore,
Mm-hmm.
though they are doing business, but they were not very familiar and they were not very familiar with the people where they are doing business.
Mm-hmm.
So this concept, what I thought I should give them a very, cakewalk for them to have most of the South Indian hotels in a one platter.
Mm-hmm.
Then I started, trying to establish my own company after working 5 years in an organization. Then I started adding some hotels to my
Mm-hmm.
portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
I added 3, 4 hotels initially, like
Mm-hmm.
Bangalore, Mysore, Ooty was another destination. Then I added Trivandrum. Then I
Mm-hmm.
added Chennai.
Mm-hmm.
So when I added this platform,
Mm-hmm.
the people were finding it very, 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 very lucrative, and the outcome was very, great. People
Mm-hmm.
loved it,
Mm-hmm.
and all my colleagues motivated me. या मद्रासी तुम और कोई होटल से क्यों नहीं करते हैं?
Mm-hmm.
ये तो अच्छा है.
Mm-hmm.
मद्रासी तो अच्छा काम कर दिया, तो और भी होटल्स पकड़ो ना. हमारे लिए बहुत आसान हो जाएगा.
Mm-hmm.
आप और होटल पकड़ लो. I
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, these guys are motivating. So
Mm-hmm.
then I added the other destinations as well.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, then there was a lot of noise coming out in the papers, in the media. That one Madrasi is come out with a good chain of hotels where we can have a lot of hotel, and people all supported me. And that is how I ventured into the thing and gave them a complete portfolio of. I did a small trip in complete South India. Not only, though I'm from Chennai, not only Tamil Nadu, I did a complete, places around Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, and in and out of each states. So when people started asking me, there are very small places where most of the tour operators were not aware about it. Place like Pattadakal, this is somewhere in Karnataka, very close to Belgaum, then Assam. So I immediately gave them the distances, a biography of the place, the distance, everything. So slowly the Madrasi name, though brand was there, the South Indian encyclopedia was available in the market. People said, yeah, South Indian encyclopedia is here. So any information related with South India, the people used to call me and take the information on that.
You became the brand there by turning this entire term to the positivity in a way.
Of course, yes. The people loved it. So I was always with them as branded Madrasi, which has got a very affectionate place in their heart. So slowly, then later on, Madrasi encyclopedia to hai, Chennai, South India, whatever details you want, you can get it from there. So I was able to give most of the places, destination, distance, and that is how it started giving as a, still they call me Madrasi and South Indian who's there in the market.
Wow. I mean, this is definitely an interesting, touching story. Thanks for sharing with us, Mr. Sarthi. And like you said, I mean, you turned, a very interesting term to an identity in a way, and that basically helps to get that branding right there, right? And then that's a very smart thing to do in a way, right? And thank you. Now, second question is basically, if we say that Kerala has always bounced back with all the natural calamities, and that sounds like in COVID-19 time also Kerala is fighting the best. What do you think? You are very close to Kerala, right? What drives the Kerala to be the best in a way, and that fighting instinct, where it come from?
That's a nice question, Sanjay. Of course, yes. The first thing, the branding, which is very, very important for any personality to be branded. In any business, if you have a brand, it will sell very easily. And to create a brand, it's more important. So Rohit had in my informal discussion, my friend Rohit was asking me, sir, what is this brand? Why don't you have a branded hotel by yourself? I said, see, the brand, creating brand, I told you, the Madrasi is one of the best brands, which I always put it on a very high line, and many people will not know what it is. But of course, people in Delhi, in northern part of India, will say, when you say Madras, that itself is a very good brand. For people to recognize you, that gave a and I told you, as it was promoting from North, they were not known across your day-to-day life. When you come across the common man, when you interact with many people with the meeting, another thing, any common man, you walk on the roads, when they say Madras, oh, idli vada aa gaya bhai, dosa idli vada aa gaya. A South Indian means you have idli vada or dosa. So apart from this, they were not knowing what the place is all about. And of course, the inbound market, the foreigners, do they have some knowledge? So making the people across North India to understand what is more than idli, sambar, vada. So that's how we picked up when we start telling them the hotels across the other places, and every destination had different hotels, very unique properties which I used to help them, and 4 or 5 languages people talking. Though it was South India, the Kerala was my second home. I always loved Kerala because when a couple of decades back, when people in the tourism industry or the tour operators who sells inbound in the markets, will go to ITB, Berlin or WTM or any international markets, the government of India, you will always find that India was only Taj Mahal. And every literature will have a photo of a Taj Mahal, a Jaipur Hawa Mahal, and a couple of places in North India. But you will not find any part of South India on the cover page of the tourism magazines. So when they were a very few, So when I started promoting Kerala, right from it's almost 27 years back now, where Kerala industry started growing from that time. Very few friends of mine who were there in the industry, and they had a very efficient, proactive tourism directors in the government departments. Very few, if I can name, Dr. Venu was one, there was Jay Tilak was one, and Mr. Kant was one, Amitabh Kant. When there were 3 dynamic people, when they came out with certain ideas, and I have another good friend of in the industry called Mr. Najib, who was one of the founder of KTM and more innovative person. They have given an idea where the Kerala can be promoted as a destination. So they created a brochure for themselves. They always had a separate entity. The literature, the brochure always says Kerala. And there was a brand created, God's own country. So when people started looking India as one aspect, so this God's own country was highlighted all the international fairs, and word Kerala was on the cover pages with its own mask of the traditional dance and very bright highlighting Kerala. That gave a very good impact. People started looking at it very different, and it sold very well into the international market. And that brand every year started growing every year. And day by day, the trend got more attractive to the international buyers, international tourists, and they started coming in until when they found this first Kerala Travel Mart was introduced. They had more than 200 foreign buyers and 400 Indian buyers. So this mart gave them a good boost for promoting Kerala. So I was already there on the promotions of Kerala on the right time, and it was more easier for me to give the right places, the right destination, the right product to my colleagues in the industry. And when I tell them any destination, for example, Munnar, which was not a very popular destination during my days, we would hardly found around 5-6 hotels, 7 hotels during that time, and it was a beautiful destination. When I used to tell people about this is a destination, it took 2-3 years to get into the programs and itineraries. And that gave them a thing. Then Munnar was one highlighted place. then came Cochin, then came Koilon, then came Calicut, then there was a place, Trivandrum, then Kovalam was one which was highlighted as, the southern Goa.
Right.
So this is how
And
the
this
Kerala
is
tourism started promoting, and it got very highlighted, and I started promoting Kerala as well, and
wow.
giving more
Mhm.
authentic information to my colleagues.
Wow, and this is a great journey. I mean, like this great base, which kind of help Kerala to get their tourism back. As a question about the ask how the tourism basically the whole background for Kerala been created, and thank you for explaining in detail. Now, in extension to that question, let me ask you, how do you see Kerala tourism in future? Where it goes from here?
Great, of course. See, as I was telling you, Kerala is always been, you will always find a very dynamic people in the
Hmm.
Kerala Department of Tourism.
Hmm.
Again, it is, you can only say it's God's gifted people in Kerala tourism.
Hmm.
They always get the right people, and tourism is the main source of business in Kerala.
Hmm.
Hardly there is industries are very much less. So the
Hmm.
government gives more importance to the
Hmm.
tourism sector,
Hmm.
and on any uh, downfall of Kerala, whether it is a flood or whether it is any pandemic, the government and the people of Kerala, they work so hard in synchronizing with each other
Hmm.
right from the root cause.
Hmm.
They are all well prepared how to handle these situations in a very professional way. Looking
Right.
at Kerala last year,
Uh-huh.
they were with floods, and it was totally, the industry was collapsed.
Hmm.
And the amount of initiative the government has taken, the people of Kerala, that each and every personality which is connected with the tourism,
Hmm.
they work from the grassroots, reaching out to each and every people on the district level
Hmm.
and the area level, colony level, so that they are not being affected. You know, public and the government working together,
Hmm. Hmm.
all support given by the government, and they were within 2 months of the flood. The Kerala government and the Kerala tourism people came out with an ad. In fact, we are all supported them that we are back from the floods. Well, we
Hmm.
are back to host the tourists.
Hmm.
And there were
Right.
a group of first Australian tourists who came down, and the government they gave a very warm welcome,
Hmm.
and it was raining still, and the crowd welcomed the tourists,
Wow.
that you can travel to Kerala even during monsoon.
Wow. So yeah.
So the system in Kerala is so organized. The people in Kerala, the doctors coming back to the pandemics, the government has taken so good care, which they all experienced during the flood time. They had the ground level of the staff who were working, the database which they had, and every person, the doctors, the professional, the tourist people, they were all connected. And every district, every street, every area. And it was easy for the government to apply the same formula and for the pandemic. And they were very successful in overcoming the pandemic.
Hmm. Hmm.
They had a very less cases coming in, and the mortality rate is very low in Kerala. The recovery rate is very high. So we have to give a hats off to the
Absolutely.
doctors, the people, the staff, the nurses, the people of Kerala, the tourism department, the government department. Everybody was working one to one, very close,
Great. I
and they were
mean,
able to handle it very successfully.
Very nice to hear. I mean, and how do you see this? Is how you see the future, because it's coming from the foundation, and the foundation, the way Kerala is working is great. And right now another question. Sorry, yeah, Mrs. Sarthi, go ahead.
Sorry, that is how, and definitely they will overcome this pandemic, and
Yeah.
the government is already planning to come out with that, very safe city, very safe state to travel.
Right.
They're already coming out with an ad stating that if you look at the graph or the data of the pandemic, Kerala will be the lowest on the mortality. They have been prepared how to welcome the guests, what are the norms set, the distancing themselves, the public awareness, sanitization of the hotels, the places, the tourists, the vehicles, the drivers. So everywhere they made the sanitization, the proper screening, the proper testing, so that people can travel safe to the state and they can return back safe.
Right. So, Mr. Sarthi, you handle many hotels as such, right? And you help them. Now, tell us more about them and how they are doing, preparing for the COVID-19 stuff. How they are getting ready for COVID-19.
Of course, that's again a good one. We had some of the best hotels which I market, and any hotels that I pick up in any destination will be one or two hotels, and every destination will have something very unique hotels, and that was my concept. If a person traveling to Bangalore stays with a small 3-star hotel, and when he goes to the next destination, whether it is Mysore or Chennai, he will not find a similar kind of atmosphere hotel what he stayed earlier. He will have totally a different kind of atmosphere there. And again, when he go down to another kind of a place on his entire itinerary, he will find every destination with a different kind of hotels. And he will be very unique in experience. And every hotel will be different in its unique way of the theme, the concepts, and the taste. So that when any traveler travels, he always enjoys traveling, so that he doesn't experience what he was at the back. So everything will be new for him whenever he travels to the next destination.
Wow.
During the pandemic, of course, yes, some of the heritage hotels what we have in the northern India, Rajasthan, the government has set up a new norms for the hotels to come up, and we follow the hotels very strictly. All the hotel, the rooms, the reception area, the lobby area, everything will be monitored very closely. The additional people who are being appointed for the sanitization of the complete hotel. When each guest comes, each guest stays into the room. When he checks out of the rooms get completely sanitized. And all hotels to follow the norms adopted by the government very strictly. So we have already opened up a hotel in Rajasthan sector with all these norms. My friend of his staff who's been, we are trying to see that they make a very easy check-in with the distancing, proper distancing by themselves, so that the guest doesn't have to interact much with the staffs. They come in, check into the hotel, get into the room service can be ordered through the phone, or they can go to the restaurants where the restaurants norms are set, where we had around 100 covers. Now we have that every table with a 6 foot in distance. So the norms are set, the people can come, they can stay safe, and they can travel safe.
Wow. And this is such, there's a lot of, I'm sure they are taking, like you said, a lot of measurements as such. in the different thing, improving process and training and all those stuff. There's definitely inspiring and great effort to ensure the traveler safety. Rohit, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, that is true. Like it's quite nicely things are
Yeah.
taken from Mr. Sarthi.
Yeah.
And I know Mr. Sarthi for a quite long time, as like
Mhm.
we are good friend, and we know like him as a great network person. He has got a tremendous network in the industry, and he has been helping to the industry in a great manner. And even when we see like the time which is the moving very fast, and the person of his level, we get very few, and we are really amazed to know like what exactly is those philosophy behind this when you have been extending your help to others, and it's completely goes for no expectation in return.
Huh,
Mrs.
that's very
Sarthi.
interesting, Rohit. See, uh, during my early days of my career, before coming into the hospitality industry, right from my childhood, I was very closely associated with my senior friends who were all mostly linked with the social working. You know, they were all good social workers. And I have been working as a social worker in many organizations wherever my friends get me for a lot of field works. So social worker was my passion. I always loved working for the people
Hmm.
and not expecting anything in return. See, when we work, when I say that, when I go to the fields, I was associated with a organization called Gramaltels. They were used to do the leprosy screening for the people.
Hmm.
So I used to accommodate my friends, my colleagues who used to go to the villages in my state, Tamil Nadu, and many other places, deep into the villages where they identify the leprosy patients. They collect the data and give it to the doctors, and they don't expect anything in return. So it was a cost to the society. So that I adopted myself, and I was moving around. Most of my life was spent with the uh, social worker, and later on I was working with an associated myself with the Bharat Scouts and Guides, as my father was the railways. And in the Bharat Scouts and Guides, we used to carry out a huge public programs, awareness program, where the social work like organ donating camps, eye donation camps, you know, like that many social organization camps we used to get it done. And in 1983, if I'm not 1987, I was awarded a Rashtrapati Award by
Nice.
the then President of India,
Mhm.
Mr. R. Venkataraman. I was awarded as the best rover, Bharat Scouts and Guides, the Rover President Award for my work. So
Great.
that gave me a motivation, and I was always affiliated with the social cause. And when I came into the hospitality industry, it was continuing in my blood that, as I told you, when people told me as a Madrasi, I was not offended. I took it as a compliment, and I was working on. Similarly, when people, when they wanted to have some information from me, I gave them with my full-heartedly the tick information without expecting anything from my members. See, that is one of the reasons they love me and they like me. And I would still love to give more to my industry. And even now, I decided all my experience, what I've gained from the last so many years, I wanted to give it back to my industry.
Right.
So in the year 2018, we have an association called Indian Association of Tour Operators, and that has always been dominated, where we always have the elected people who are being elected, most of them from Delhi. So I contested the election as an independent candidate in that association, as an independent, and I was elected by the members for that association for the first time.
Right.
So this was accomplished, was successful because of my being good with my partners, my people. They love me, and I love them, and I still love to do for them without anything. And there are many people where I given my feedbacks, my support, my help in the industry, who have grown up to the next level, and I really love them, watching them, that they are still growing. That gives me joy. That gives me passion. That I love seeing that my people are growing.
Mm-hmm. That's lovely. In fact, like yes, and the people have voted you above the groupism and the party. And being a member, independent member, I understand how difficult it is in ITO.
Yes.
And like still, we consider you are quite young, as in industry. And what's your future plans? Where Mr. Sarthi will be in future?
I always love to remain young. And I always tell I always tell my friends, you should always remain young. Even during the pandemic, I was telling my people, let this go as a message, rather than keeping ourselves confined into the room. You should always be positive. The pandemic, yes, initially we were all panicked, and now we have to go with it. It's a lockdown. Let's stay at home. We have to follow the norms, and there is nothing to panic about. People should be more positive so that the energy level comes out. They get the most inbuilt energy by staying positive. Be smiling. Give your smile always. Let the smile be with you, and face the challenges. The challenges should always be faced in a very positive way, rather than keeping yourself confined, fearing yourself. The more you fear, you become very weak. You be positive in your attitude, be smiling, face the challenges, and pray that you will overcome the challenges.
Mhm.
And definitely overcome. And the pandemic will be a passing cloud one day. And of course, you will see Vijay Sarthi with more social working, the more benefits to the members of the tourism, and you'll find Vijay Sarthi owning a hotel down the line.
Great.
Very well.
Isn't it?
Very well said. Very well said, Mr. Sharthi. And when we were kind of hearing you, and then we feel that there is a lot of energy and youngism inside to learn, adapt to learn, and that's what we are. That's what we all are, right? Now, in this case, I have one more question, and I really want to know your thought process there. When this tour and this is a different world as such, and what's your message for the travelers across the globe? What should they be thinking a lot, or should they be thinking for some time and then getting comfortable for the travel? What's your thought? What's your message to them?
See, the pandemic is across the world, and at this current scenario, the pandemic has put a stop to the travelers, and it's really created a havoc. And it's to some of my few new friends who started a career with the tourism industry. It's really given a very good. It's given a pain for them and put them in a very bad situation where they need some kind of a support to withstand in the tourism industry. The new entrepreneurs, there are so many young entrepreneurs who have started the career with the new ventures in the tourism recently, and it would be very difficult for them to sustain at this particular point of time. And I'm sure they will be overcoming this crisis very soon. And we are still praying very strong that the medicine should come out for this pandemic. The moment the medicines are rolled out, the travelers will be very strong to travel around the globe. The travelers are not going to stop if they are going to travel in a big way. Until the time, we only keep our things positive and stay very strong to overcome this pandemic. But it is, of course, yes, I feel very sad. Most of my friends and in the industry who doesn't expected to have a kind of support that they were expecting it from the government. And of course, we still have hope that the government will come and support them in a good way so that they can overcome pandemic.
Wow.
And of course, travel is a never-ending one. The travel is not going to end. It is always going to be there. And the domestic is always going to pick it up in a very short while, the moment they get the medicine. And the international traveler as well will be traveling down. And of course, they'll be very selective in seeing the places, the safer place to travel, and they will travel to the safer place.
Right. And very well said that we just need to stay positive. Different part of industry, they just need to stay positive. Once medicine come, there will be more confidence on the travelers as such. So with that thought, Mr. Vijay Sarathy, it's definitely a great insight discussion with you. We definitely learn a lot of things from you. You are definitely a people's man, inspiring from so much social causes and helping the people. So thank you for sharing the thought. Thank you very much, Mr. Sarathy.
You're most welcome, Sanjay. It was a very good interaction with you, Sanjay, and it was lovely coming across you.
Absolutely.
And I thank Rohit for supporting me and bringing you into my contact. And I wish we stay connected, and our journey will be a long way.
Absolutely. Long positive way.
Whenever we get associated with anybody,
Yeah.
I always see that my journey continues on a very long journey.
Right.
Thank
Long
you.
positive way. Thank you very much. Please stay on. We will definitely have some follow-up question, but the discussion ends here. Thank you very much for joining the show, Mr. Sarathy.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay.